So, last week I sat with a man in his 60s, a retired Navy mechanic from Ohio. Tough hands, stoic voice. But when he spoke, his eyes told a different story. It's like, I'm still me, he said. But when it's time to perform, nothing happens. Then he looked down, rubbed his hands together. I got in bed last night, tried to initiate something with my wife. She just gave me that sad half smile, turned over, and went to sleep. No argument, no rejection, just that silence. She stopped expecting anything from me. And honestly, I've started expecting less from myself too. That silence crushed him more than any argument ever could. And I see this way too often. Proud men, strong men, carrying this quiet fear that something important is slipping away, and they don't talk about it. Not to their wives, not to their buddies, sometimes not even to their doctors. But the truth is, this isn't about desire, and it's not just age. It's about something far more fixable. And that's what I shared with him. Because what most men don't realize is that your sexual function is powered by muscles. And like any muscle, once it weakens, everything starts falling apart. But the good news is muscles can be rebuilt. And no, we're not talking about gym memberships or squatting with barbells at 70. These are light, natural movements that have worked for dozens of men I've worked with, and even the man I just told you about. And when we got to exercise number 5, he looked at me and said, "Why hasn't any doctor ever mentioned this?" So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 7 simple movements that reignite blood flow, restore control, and rebuild confidence where it counts. And by the way, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is for senior men who want to feel fully alive again. Not just okay, but strong, vibrant, and proud of the man they still are. Subscribed? Good. Let's start with the first exercise, and the one mistake that's been holding most men back for years. Now, most men think erections start in the bedroom, but the truth is, they start in your pelvis hours before you even get under the sheets. See, there's a cluster of muscles and nerves right behind your groin. And when those muscles get stiff, tight, or inactive, blood can't get where it needs to go, which means when the moment comes, nothing happens. And the worst part is, most men sit for 8 to 12 hours a day, at work, on the couch, in the car. So that entire region just goes numb. And that's why this first movement is all about waking up the base. It's called a pelvic rocker, and it's stupidly simple. You sit at the edge of a chair, feet flat, back straight, and you gently rock your pelvis forward and backward, tucking and untucking like you're trying to show off a belt buckle. Then hide it again. You start slow, 10 to 15 reps, nice and controlled. What this does is restores blood flow to your pelvic floor, activates your core and erection support muscles, and signals your nervous system. Hey, wake up, we've got work to do down here. Do this once or twice a day, especially in the evening, when your body starts winding down, because a dead pelvis equals a dead bedroom. And this one simple movement is like flipping the power switch back on, but that's just the start. Because once you turn the lights back on, you need something to keep the current flowing. And that's exactly what exercise number 2 is built to do. Let's get into it. Now that we've unlocked the pelvis, it's time to flood it with what it really needs: blood, oxygen, nutrient-rich circulation. Because here's what most men don't realize. Your erection isn't just about arousal, it's a vascular event, a blood pressure response. If circulation down there is weak, then it doesn't matter how strong your desire is. The body just can't respond. And that's where this next movement comes in. It's simple. Start seated. Feet shoulder width apart, back straight. Now, tighten your thighs, calves, and glutes all at once and hold for 10 seconds. Then release. Repeat it 6 to 8 times. It might not look like much, but inside your body, it's like firing up a mini power plant. Why? Because this full lower body squeeze sends a rush of blood through your pelvic floor, wakes up dormant capillaries, and triggers your neurovascular network to start communicating again. It's the difference between a dried up garden and one where the sprinklers just kicked in. I've had men tell me, I did this for a week, and I felt more alive down there than I have in years. But here's the twist, and I mean that literally. You'll want to combine this with the next exercise, because it not only trains the right muscles, it also re-educates your nervous system to fire when it matters. Let's go to exercise number 3. You'd be shocked how many men over 60 are walking around with tension so deep in their groin and thighs. They don't even feel it anymore. But their body does. Their blood vessels do. Their bedroom life absolutely does. Because when your inner thighs and groin stay tight, they trap the very circulation you need for performance. Blood gets blocked, nerves get squeezed, and your brain can scream, "Let's go," all at once. But the message never gets delivered. So here's what you do. Groin opener stretch. You can do this in bed, by the way. Lie on your back. Then bring the soles of your feet together, knees falling gently to the sides. Then let gravity do the work. If you're on the floor or bed, slide a pillow under each knee for support. Then just breathe and feel that area start to open up. Hold for 60 seconds. Repeat twice, morning and night. Now, here's why this works. It releases chronic pelvic tightness, unlocks lymph flow and nerve signals to the prostate, reduces inflammation that blocks arousal, and helps retrain your lower body to be more responsive when you need it most. And no joke, one man I worked with said his inner thighs were so tight he hadn't sat cross-legged since the Clinton administration. We fixed that in 10 days. And by day 14, he sent me a message with just 3 words. It's working again. Now imagine you saying that sooner than you think. Because when you release what's locked, you restore what's lost. Ready for what's next? Because exercise number 4 takes all this blood flow we've been waking up and trains your body to hold it right where it counts. Let's go. Okay, you've got blood flowing. You've started waking things up down there. Now it's time to teach your body to hold it. Because getting an erection is one thing, keeping it, that's a whole different skill. And this next move builds that skill like nothing else. It's called the pelvic squeeze hold, and it directly targets the pubococcygeus muscle. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Let's just call it the P muscle. It's the muscle that literally clamps blood in place, holding firmness, holding control, holding confidence. And here's how to do it. Sit on a chair with your feet flat on the floor. Tighten the muscles you'd use to stop urinating midstream. Hold that squeeze for 5 seconds. Release for 5. Repeat 10 times. That's 1 set. Do 2 sets a day. And no, you don't need to grunt or clench your face like you're lifting a car. This is subtle, controlled, focused. And for the benefits, stronger erections that last longer. Better control during intimacy, so you're not ending things early. and even improved bladder strength. Because yes, those muscles multitask. This is how you train your body to perform under pressure. And here's a secret most guys don't know. The men who master this, they often outperform men half their age because they've built control most younger guys never think about. So while your friends are throwing back pills, you're doing something real. Something that works. Something your body will thank you for. In the moment, that matters. But quick question before we move on. Is any of this surprising to you so far? Have you tried any of these before? Drop a comment. I read them all, and if you're still watching, you're clearly serious about this. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. And what's coming next has helped more men reclaim their confidence than any supplement ever could. Subscribed? All right. Let's talk about exercise number 5. The one so effective, it actually got censored on some forums. And you're about to find out exactly why. You won't find this one in most men's health guides. And some forums actually took it down after too many users claimed it worked better than pills. That's not hype. That's results most people aren't ready to talk about. It's called the pelvic pulse hold, and it's all about targeted vascular compression and release. Now, don't let the name scare you. Here's how it works and why it works. Most men struggling with erections focus only on blood flowing in. But they forget. Your erection stays up only if the blood stays in. That's what this move does. It trains your pelvic floor, especially the ischiocavernosus and bulbospongiosus muscles, to trap blood in the right chambers. These are the valve-like muscles that, when strong, keep you firm longer. When they're weak, your erection may show up, then bail halfway through. So here's how to do it. Sit or lie down. Relax your legs and abs. Then, tense your pelvic floor like you're trying to hold in a stream, not clenching your abs or glutes, just the deep base muscle. Then, hold for 8 seconds. You should feel a light pulsing or heat building in the area. Then, release slowly. Wait 10 seconds, then repeat 10 times. Most men feel a noticeable pulse by round 3. Some even report a gentle warmth or slight engorgement without arousal. That's your vascular trap system waking up. And that's exactly why this got censored. Because men were talking about how this one move gave them firmer, longer-lasting erections than any pill ever had. Now imagine doing this daily for a week and pairing it with the last 4 exercises we've covered. That's not a fluke, that's foundational recovery. So let's keep going, because exercise number 6, that one's all about reactivating nerve pathways that age slowly shuts down. And when we open them back up, let's just say your partner may be the first to notice. Now, if circulation is the fuel and muscle control is the engine, nerve connection is the ignition. And here's the ugly truth no one tells senior men in the US. As you age, your pelvic nerves begin to dull, like an old light switch that flickers instead of flipping. So even when blood shows up, the signal doesn't. That's why some men feel desire, but no physical reaction. Not because they have a health problem, but because the signal can't get through fast enough. This exercise rewires that. The glute bridge roll-up targets both your sacral nerves, the ones controlling sexual function, and deep pelvic circulation. And here's how to do it. Lie flat on your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Arms flat by your sides. Now slowly raise your hips toward the ceiling while rolling your spine up one vertebra at a time. At the top, Squeeze your glutes and pelvic floor together. Hold for 5 seconds, then roll back down slowly. Repeat 10 to 12 times. If you do this, you'll feel two things. First, a subtle warming across your lower back and pelvic area. Secondly, a stretch and squeeze combo that forces fresh blood into dormant nerve endings. This movement is gold for men over 60. It reactivates the body's neural roadmap, rebuilding the messages between brain and groin. And here's the surprising part. Many men report that morning wood returns after just a few consistent days of this, not because of a pill, but because the nerves finally started listening again. Now, exercise number 7 is where we wrap it all together. It's your daily maintenance move to keep everything you've just rebuilt strong and responsive for years to come. Let's finish strong. So now you've done the muscle work. You've relit the nerve signals. Now you need a daily ritual that keeps the engine humming without starting from scratch every time. That's what this final movement is about. Think of it as your morning espresso for your manhood. And here's how it works. Stand tall with feet shoulder width apart. Then raise your knees alternating left and right, like a slow march in place. Then, every time your knee comes up, gently tense your pelvic floor, that same stop the pee muscle. Do this for 2 to 3 minutes and make sure you're breathing steady. That's it. Simple? Yes, but deceptively powerful. Because what this does is kickstart circulation into your groin first thing in the morning. Train your pelvic muscles to fire on cue without hesitation. Build a habit that locks in your progress day after day. And here's the real win. This tiny habit trains your subconscious to prioritize your sexual health without pills, without gimmicks, and without shame. You start your day in control, not reacting to problems, but actively defending your strength. It's like brushing your teeth, but for your manhood. And just like brushing your teeth, you don't skip it. Because you know what happens when you do. The same man I told you about earlier, he didn't skip it either. After years of quiet disappointment, he committed to these simple movements. And last week, he sent me a message I won't forget. Did every exercise, twice a day. It felt silly at first, but something's waking up again. And last night, for the first time in forever, my wife stayed close, smiled, held my hand, and just whispered, "I've missed you." That's what this is really about. Not just the blood flow, not just the strength, but the connection, the confidence, the life that returns. And listen, I may not be able to sit one-on-one with every man across the US, but I am right here in this comment section. So if you've got questions, if something hit home today, or even if you just want to say, "That's me," drop a comment, because what you share might inspire the next video, might help another man speak up for the first time, and it just might help you feel heard. And before you go, tap that subscribe button. Because around here, we don't settle for "it's just age." We fight back with science, with movement, with truth. So you can stay powerful well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. I'll see you in the next video.